Hi everyone. Today we're going to have a look to a new Chrome extension that can work on Chrome but also on Microsoft Edge or any Chrome-based browser, and is called Brisk Teaching, and it's free. Um, so, what does this Brisk do? This extension is to automate resources creation, provide faster feedback, and differentiate material for varied proficiency level. And all of this just by using the free forever plan. I am on Microsoft Edge, but on Google Chrome and other browser it will be very similar. So you will need to go to extensions and go to the shop for the extension. So for example, in Chrome it's called Chrome Web Store. In here on Edge is called, you just go here on the three dots extension and you go to get extension for Microsoft Edge. So you will go to the shop for extension, and let's type in Brisk Teaching. And here it is. So we'll get this extension. We wait for it to install. Okay, once it's installed, it will send you to the Brisk website. Now, in here, you have this sort of jigsaw icon. If you click on it, you will see the extension and you can pin it. So in this way, it's always visible on your on your browser. Now, what we need to do, we need to sign up to create an account with Brisk. So we're going on and create an account. So let's put our address. So Giacomo. Okay, we'll need to put our first name and surname. And we are in. Now we need to choose the our role. So in this case, will be teacher. We can search for the school in case we want to associate a specific school. In this case, service direct. Subject. Now I will put English, but of course you can put others in case of other languages. In my case, because I will do this tutorial in English and I will use English material, I'll put English. Now, this app is done for schools. So, of course, you have all the grade level of the school. At the moment, I'll put university. This one, we don't care. Now, this is for share, so we don't care at the moment. Let's put this one. Now, here you can write, for example, I will put languages, but you could put also just one language specific. Okay, now that we signed up, we are on the main page of Brisk Teaching, but this is not the page that we are interested in. I want to show you how to use the actual extension when you are in different pages on articles and YouTube video, etc. Now, you see you have, at the bottom, you have the Brisk app here. And you can turn it on and off just by clicking on the one that we pinned before here on top. So you click and you click again. And we're going to an article because I want to show you how to change level from an authentic material, from an authentic article. Now, I chose an English article because I want everyone to understand how this works, but of course you can use it in the language that you prefer. So let's choose this article, and we go in here to click on the Brisk app. And as you can see, I have change level. I click on change level. I can choose, this one will create an alternative article. So it will review this article and will change the level of the article. And I can choose if it will be moving on to Google Doc or to Microsoft Word. Let's put Microsoft Word. And here, of course, is English, but you could choose many languages. And here is the level. Now that's the challenge, because the level is based on school rather than the CEFR for languages. So my suggestion is to create a table where we can understand these levels, what they mean on a CFR level. Now, what I did, it was asking, for example, to Copilot. So Copilot, when I said I have an English levels for an English text that go from first grade school up to 12th grade, but I want rough comparison with the CEFR levels for languages. So here it gave me this comparison. Now, I use Copilot. You might want to check, maybe even with different things. You ask to Copilot and to Gemini and to ChatGPT to see if they give you roughly the same comparison. Now, let's say that we want a A2 level for this text, so, or maybe A2 plus. So we give a 5th grade. So let's go and select 5th grade. And that's it. And now we ask to change the reading level. Now the app will start producing the new article for this specific level. Let's have a look. Let's pull it out and make a little bit of comparison. You see, here stands at the crossroads of diplomacy negotiation and cultural integration, brings years of expertise to the front. So here you see it really completely re-elaborate the text to give us the same information, but in a way easier input. Now, next thing that we want to go and have a look is a resource creation from a content. So, for example, a YouTube video. So we're going to open another content, and still will keep on the same topic. So we have the secret lives of diplomats, and it's a TED talk. So as usual, we have our little icon on the right. And now the system recognizes that we are on YouTube. What we need to click now is create. And here we have a few tools. So as you can see, there's a quiz maker, lesson plan, presentation. So we have quite a few things that can be created. Let's start with a presentation. So I click on presentation, and then I click next. Create a presentation about this YouTube video. It's fine. We still keep the 5th grade because it's our student. We know that they have that level, but of course I can just change it. 10 slides and with images. Okay, all good. The only thing is that at the moment here is going to create it in Google Slide. So we go to next. Let's choose something that is not too silly. So let's get just something very simple. and then Brisk It. Now what it's going to do is going to ask me to log in with a Google account. So the creation now is finished. So the presentation has been created. Of course, it's not perfect. So when it creates a presentation, you might still have to put your hands on it, because you see the title is not, it's not actually very nice. It's very basic. But still, a lot of work has been done. So what do diplomats actually do? We have meet a real diplomats. We have some pictures. Of course, we can change the pictures if the one that they chose are not relevant to us. But anyway, we have already quite a bit of a summary of what the video was. So that's our first, and it took only a few seconds. And this can be done with the free version. But let's go and have a look of other things that we can do, still with the same video. And now let's try to do, for example, we should have a lesson plan. Let's go. Here we have to choose still the Google Doc. So for the whole create part is bound to a Google account. Of course, that doesn't mean that then we can download it and then transport it to a PowerPoint or to a Word that it's, if we prefer or we have to use the Microsoft environment. But the creation has to be with Google. So still 5th grade, let's say that our class is 90 minutes. So we can build a lesson plan on this video for 90 minutes. And then let's go and Brisk It. Okay, the lesson plan has been created. Now, for example, we could add a translation. We could make it shorter. We could add more details, make it longer, less detail. So let's add a quiz. We haven't seen the lesson plan, but of course, usually you will have to read it first. But let's try to create a quiz directly now and Brisk It. Then, of course, okay, it did. So we can add the answer key, and it gave us also a scoring guide. Now, I would say that for the moment, we are okay. So let's go and have a look at what it created. So you see, it says, ask students, why do you think the United States needs diplomats in so many different countries? So you have them to talk about it, sticky notes, maps showing countries they know about or would like to learn about. And then you have reflection. In closing 10 minutes, ask students to think about this question silently for 1 minute. What surprised you most about what diplomats do? Then the assessment. The student can be assessed through competition for not taking sheet during the video, participation in class discussion, quality of the skit. Of course, this is a generic lesson plan, but it is made for giving you ideas and help you in creating things around this video. It's always better to reread everything quickly to see that there is no actual hallucination from the AI. But in general, is quite good at giving you good questions and good keys for the video, because it used the transcript that is on YouTube. So this is an important thing to know. It works only on videos that they do have an available transcript. So if the video doesn't have a transcript on YouTube, it won't be able to generate a quiz. Okay, so that was another thing that we created. And now let's have a look also if we want to create an actual quiz, but not like the one that we created on the lesson plan, but like more proper quiz. So let's go to next, and it will create it in Google Form. Now it will ask us probably the access again to Google because we haven't access to the form yet. Let's see, but I'm pretty sure they will. Exactly. Okay, now that we gave the permission, we can click on Brisk App. And it will create a form for us. Here we are. We now have our form with all the questions that we can send to the student, and it will be able to auto-correct. Now, if I click on Boosted, I can create, you see, a AI-guided discussion of this page content. See, you have a select activity type. You have a few things that you can access. So let's go with the whiteboard. Topic exploration. Add. Then let's continue. We like these objectives that AI created, or we could add learning objectives that we want. So let's create the activity. And okay, as you can see here, I could have my my questions. Here we have the objective, and I can chat with Brisk Boost to analyze this content. So this is my first objective, or identify example that support perspective. So these are our three objectives. And by chatting with the bot, the student can understand better the questions and understand better the topic that we are going through. Is just try activities, all the activities that you might have in here. When you click on here and you click on Boost, you might want to have a look of all the activity that you can create, and just experiment to see which one are free, which one are not. Have the debate, character chat, the chat with a historical character. So you have a few things that you can make it do. As I said, at the moment, I just can't promise you that all of those will be free forever. The last thing that I want to show you goes on correction. So how do we do that? Let's say that the student gave us this essay. So we did the whole class, we did the whole thing, and now we gave them as a homework, Life as a Diplomat. So you take their homework. If they did their homework on a Word file, you just need to copy it and paste it in a Google Doc. And then on here, on our Brisk app, we go here, we click on Give Feedback, and we click on Glow and Grows. And again, here we need to put 5th grade because we said our student was 5th grade, was an A2 plus. We could specify things that we want to check. So for example, check grammar and spelling mistakes. And then we go. We wait for it. And in here, we have the whole feedback. So we have our feedback. We have a part that is glow, a part is grow, and a part is wandering. Now we're going to insert this one in our text. So as you can see now, we have glow. You wrote a clear thesis statement at the end of your first paragraph. It's not easy, but it can be a very interesting and meaningful job for someone who likes travel learning and helping others. This tells readers exactly what your essay is about. Your essay is well organized, you explain the challenges, you use specific example, and okay. Then grow, watch out for spelling mistakes. Different twice, it should be different. You also wrote countries when it should be countries. Government, stressful should be stressful. In your second paragraph, you rewrote that they always need to start again. I didn't explain what that means. So you see, and then you mentioned that diplomats must be polite all the time. Can you think of a specific example of when this would be really hard? I think a story situation might help readers understand the challenge better. You said diplomats feel proud when they help stop conflicts. What do you think would be the hardest part of that work? So you see, you have some part that they go on a generic feeling of the essay. What it goes more deeply on what you ask for, so grammar and spelling. And then you have a wandering that it's more like, okay, now let's expand from it. Let's create more. So how this essay could have touched more point and give us more info. So that's will save us a lot of time as a teachers to give a very thorough comment. Of course, you will still have to read it through to make sure that it says the things that you want it to say. And also, you might want to give it a read to see if there are any mistakes that it didn't point out here. Or if you prefer, you could actually correct it directly on the essay. But it did already save you a lot of time and give you a lot of also ideas on how to give a full feedback to your student. Okay, these one were the main thing that I wanted to show you, but there are also other things that you could access. So for example, when you go to create, there is this button that says create anything. That means it creates something completely new. Now, for example, let's say that we want to create a podcast. As diploma. Brisk App. It creates two files. We have the text file, and here we have episode. What does a diplomat do? Main ideas, key points, some ideas of the podcast. But then we also have the actual podcast, and listen to the podcast with our transcript. Let's have a look to our podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast about diplomats. I'm Amara, and today we're exploring what it's like to work as a diplomat around the world.
Thanks for having me. I'm Marcus. So, Amara, what exactly does a diplomat do? I think a lot of kids don't really know.
Of course, the content of the podcast might not be perfect, so we might need to do a little bit of editing, but we still, you see here you have the edit button. So, for example, we wouldn't talk about kids, so we would write, I don't think a lot of people don't really know. For example, even this thanks for having me, it's a bit weird because he's not an actual diplomat, because then he asks questions about it. So let's remove that part. And then you go through all of it and you see if there is anything that has to be edited in the whole script. And then you just go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast about diplomats. I'm Amara, and today we're exploring what it's like to work as a diplomat around the world.
I'm Marcus. So, Amara, what exactly does a diplomat do? I think a lot of people don't really know.
Okay, and then you can also download your podcast, or you can simply share this web page. So if you go here in Manage Plan, you can see you have school and district. Okay, and this one is done by the school, so it's we're not concerned about it. But we have educator free plan, and then you can see what is included in the free plan. The educator pro plan, you can upgrade and see what is included in the Brisk Educator Pro. And that's it. I hope that you like this video, that you find it useful, that you like this app, and I hope that it will make your life better as a teacher. And see you soon. Bye bye.